Hey, good morning, folks. Good morning. This is Spirit Journey. Today, I think it's August 5th. August 5th. And the time is 10:05 a.m. It's 2020. I just came out the shower, and a lot of you know I like watching videos while I'm in the shower. Yes, I do. It was a commercial that was on someone's video. And the commercial was about eyebrows targeted to ladies. It was a Caucasian, and that to have thin eyebrows can mark your age, okay? And I don't know, I found it offensive because I felt that it was minimizing women. Because all the women that were in the commercial, that was talking, it was women. It wasn't about men having thinner eyebrows, but it was women having thinner eyebrows and how having thinning eyebrows, can make you look older. And so this fear about women looking older. I live in New York City, and I notice for a couple of years now, this art of doing eyebrows. In fact, I know of someone many years ago, I think it was in the 1980s, and it cost them $200 to get their eyebrows done. And I just thought, wow, those are just eyebrows. Just imagine your head. I never had my hair done. Yes, I had my hair done before this procedure I had done. Yes, Spirit Journey had a hair weave in the 1980s. It was 1986. I had it on for 2 weeks, and I was going to cosmetology school at that time, and one of the students was shampooing my hair and then noticed it, that my where it was anchored on my scalp, it was sewed onto my hair, and at the two opposite ends, that's where hair loss. Well, I got that thing taken off as fast as I could. And it was a learning lesson for me to embrace my natural hair, my natural beauty. We're all beauty, regardless of your hair texture. It's not a hair texture that makes it beautiful, if you know what I'm alluding to. It's not how straight something is that makes hair beautiful, because hair is a quality. There are all different types of hair. And whatever hair you have, embrace it. Either I'm getting a little bit off the topic about the eyebrows, but I had to throw that in there, because it was a truth that happened to me that helped me get to my journey. This is a journey that I'm on. I did not arrive yet, but it's a learning experience. And so with the eyebrows, I felt like it was objectifying women, that women had to look beautiful. And the person that was speaking in the video was a man. So it made me feel that you have to look beautiful for him to win his affection, men in general. And you have some women that say, well, I'm just doing this for me. And there's some product that's supposed to stimulate hair growth with the eyebrows. Okay, so I thought to myself, now, what else can I, with the area where I live in New York City, and it's a growing trend an art form of getting your eyebrows done. And they're getting new equipment to create the illusion of these eyebrows. Okay. And I just thought it was something. And New York City is a chocolate city, chocolate and caramel, yes, and toasted almond society. Very little vanilla right now. And so I'm seeing all this money that's being used for eyebrows. A lot of money, and makeup. Tons of women wearing tons of makeup. And the hair, a lot of weaves. And I'm thinking, wow. And I'm also thinking, because see, it's the crisis right now with the virus that's out there. And what does that have to do with the virus? Well, it's a fear that's happening, and the crisis is making people anxious and doing things that they may not normally want to do. And it's this fear mongering. And I sense something else happening. See, we're spending our money, folks. You know, New York City is heavily, as I said, a chocolate and caramel city. A lot of people from the Caribbean. And we are spending all our money on our appearance. But we're not into health, that's the point. We're not into promoting health in our communities, this chocolate and caramel city. We'll spend millions of dollars as a collective for some funky eyebrows and hair. But yet, you're sick. You're sickly. We are the sickest demographics in New York City. And with this COVID, we didn't bring it here in New York City, COVID. It started in China, but it was a European, someone who came from Europe, a trip in Europe, and came to New York and brought the COVID with him. It was a lawyer. New Rochelle, he went to New Rochelle, and New Rochelle, they quarantined that town. It's just outside of New York City, north of New York City. You don't hear much about them now, but the crisis is supposed to be getting a little better now in New York. It's under control. But either way, we're spending all this money on our looks, superficial looks, someone's eyebrows. Yet you're dying the most, even though you didn't. It's not your fault that it was brought here. It's not your fault. But you're dying the most, and you're not promoting health. We're the fattest in New York City. We have the larger number of diabetes, but yet you're not doing anything really to promote health. But you want to look good. Or the nails. What's happening with the nails now? These nails are getting longer and longer. And I don't know how you're going to work with them. And you know, I used to do nails professionally. And the nail industry has grown a lot. Yeah, I was studying cosmetology in 1987. February 1987. And, 1986, February 1986. And then by January 1987, I left the school. And I think I explained it before, but basically I'm a black woman, but yet they're not teaching black hair care, really to cater to a black clientele, because it would be required of me, because of my race alone, that I would be required to do the black customers if they went to that salon. Yeah, I was working in the field while going to school. I wanted my feet wet. I wanted to know what it was like before I really delve in deeper into the field. So 4 months after starting cosmetology school, I got a job, an entry-level job, to do nails. Back then you didn't need a license to do nails, but I wanted to get my feet wet to just know what it's like to work in a salon. And so about 10 months I was in the field. No, less than 10 months, I'm sorry. Yes, I was in I was in school for 10 months, but I worked in the field for 4 months. And I said to myself, towards the end of that year, I said, with my experience, what I encountered in the field itself, I said, I didn't want to do this anymore. But either way, so I know about nails and how it damages the nail bed. See, nothing wrong with beauty and looking beautiful. But when beauty compromises your health, your body, and when I had that hair weave, and when it caused me physical damage to my scalp, I said, no, no, no. And then same with the nails. The tips, those acrylics because you have to buff the nail bed and then put the adhesive, and to get it off, they have to soak it in acetone. So in a nutshell, it is damaging your body. But then you say, well, that's okay because I'm going to slap on those acrylics so you can't see what my real nail bed looks like anymore. So you're becoming an artificial woman, artificial beauty. And that's what I'm disgusted with. And it's like the longer, the better now. And more life, and I don't know how you're going to work. So with this COVID now, so I want to try to tie in what I perceive a trend. Now the video I was watching that had a commercial, before the commercial came on to his video, they were talking about, what were they talking about? The money system and the value of gold and silver, and about the market. So it cued my memory of something I went to yesterday. Well, I went to Home Depot to get some things, and at the cashier it said those people who are going to pay by cash, they have to give the exact change. Now I remember someone saying something like that in passing in some other day, some rumor going on that there's a scarcity of money, change, like quarters, nickels, dimes, pennies. It's a shortage of it. Well, seeing that sign at the Home Depot seemed to suggest and confirm the rumors. Why is there a shortage of coinage? Okay. Banks still have to do business. And some banks you have to make an appointment. Okay, make an appointment. But what does that have to do with pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters for a flu and cold condition? COVID it's the common cold and flu, and we've had common colds and flus from the very beginning. But no one is quarantined and things like that, right? So what's really going on? Well, I speculate that there is a hoarding of these coins. And I doubt it's because, oh, the coins, you breathe on it. Oh, they put the germs. No. It's no shortage of dollars, right? Dirty money. People don't care that money is dirty, right? They do anything for money, whether clean or... Well, either way. I perceive that this money shortage, the coinage, is for a deeper reason. And it's not because of spreading germs, because of weaponry that they're collecting the metals to make war items like bullets, guns, bombs, things like that. And so they're taking it off the market. There's a shift. There's a shifting. And I think that's part of it. I think that's a big part of it. And it could also be even deeper reasons. So why am I talking about this? Well, we're so preoccupied about how our eyebrows and hair look, and that there's something that's brewing. And we should, I think, use our money wisely right now. You have your natural beauty, stay, be clean, have iron clothes, things like that. But you have to conserve your money. You may have to stock up on certain foods. Yeah. And when I was thinking about that just the other day, that I sensed something happening. And this COVID is just an excuse, a ruse for what they really want to implement. Martial law. And again, as I said, this is a chocolate city, chocolate and caramel and toasted almond. I don't know what happened to the vanilla. They're leaving New York City. They're leaving. Where are they leaving to? And I saw videos of places to go. Places where you can live, because they heavily suggested, hey, something's going to happen. And this election that's coming up in just a couple more months, if our current President Lee stays in, it's going to be a riot. And even if he loses, there's something that's up. And it's anarchy that people want to implement. So you have these YouTubers who are talking about, hey, where you going to live? You got to leave the cities. Well, I live in one of the largest cities in this country. I have 3 little dogs. And where I'm going to go? Where is a 50-plus-year-old woman going to leave with? Where am I going to go? Where are any of us going to go for you city dwellers? Well, the whites are already leaving. And so it's just going to leave us. And we don't control our food sources. So where are we going to get food from? It's going to be like what happened in Louisiana with that big hurricane that happened, Hurricane Katrina. And what did these people do? They were fighting each other. You had people who were, rival gangs shooting each other. You had people, diabetics, that didn't have enough supply of their medicine. And so many people died. And I can see New York City going, happening, the same thing to happen. It may not be the same type of flooding, because some parts of New York City is very hilly when you go uptown. But look what's going on. Look what's going on, people. We have to get a plan. Your family. You have to have some type of plan ready And it's not about, the plan shouldn't be how to get my eyebrows thicker. How are you going to protect your kids? Your community? I'm afraid that it's going to, it's going to be the wild, wild west in New York City. This COVID, and I showed videos this past March and April and May, what it looked like outside, and who did you see out there? Homeless men mostly. And these men were chocolate and caramel, mostly chocolate. And I told you, I shared that I was groped. So you're going to have a bunch of perverted men groping women, raping women, stealing from one another. It's a prison. And you'll be locked in here, and all the whites are leaving. Excuse me, I wasn't saying white, but vanilla. They're leaving. The only whites, vanillas, that seem to be in New York City are those people of very flamboyant orientations. That's what seems to proliferate here in New York City. So what's it going to be? We have to get a plan. Now I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm just now aware. I'm getting more aware that there are things that's brewing in New York City, and seeing that notice on the cash register, you have to give exact change. Okay, because they don't have the coinage. You have to give the exact change, whatever it is. So rather than spending your money on these toys, to use it for your health, because many of us are sick. Our health status in general, in the nation, people of color, chocolates and caramels are the sickest members in this country. So stock up. If you're going to buy something, stock up on your medicine. Okay? Stock up on your medicines that you're going to need. Try to find some means of be able to produce food. Now, I bought the sprouts. I want to do some sprouting. So at least get some, because see, you're going to be needing, your veggies. So I said, okay, maybe do some sprouting. And I want to get things that aren't like perishables, like things that would be easy to prepare, like, crackers and peanut butter. I still believe in getting those things that are still, get peanut butter that doesn't have a lot of preservatives. It costs a little more, but at least get food that is nutritious. Get it, because it's going to be, I sense that it's going to be a real scarcity of food. Now, in I think it was March or April, I bought several bags of brown rice and dried beans. Okay, I've been using up some of the rice, and I have to, rice and beans it provides an almost complete protein. So it's survival food. You get the whole grain brown rice, and you get the beans. At least it's something, and it's inexpensive in general. But I think, like, if there's no electricity, I'm concerned that it may not be electricity. So maybe get candles. You get some candles. That might be something. uh, and get, non-perishable foods, things that could last a long time. Yeah, I feel it. I sense it. It's going to happen. Um, yeah, so I know we like to look good, and I know with discrimination and biasness out there, and media that likes to vilify people of color, and so we want to overcompensate and look a certain way. People already made a decision about how they're going to feel about you based on your race alone. And this singer named Stephanie Mills, she was a very famous singer from the 1970s. She was on The Wiz, the Broadway show version of The Wiz. And she said very poignantly that she realized as a black woman, Stephanie Mills is a very dark-skinned black woman, very petite in height, powerful voice, and she used to date Michael Jackson. She was on The Breakfast Club recently, and she said when she went out with Michael, she didn't want to, she said she did not want to eat at certain people's tables. She knew, because of her race, that she knew that they're not her friend, and she rather not socialize with them. She said she wanted to just do her job, do her singing, and go home. She didn't want to socialize with them. Well, she's a smart woman. She knew the deal. And when with Michael, she says, when they wanted him to become more pop, and that was also the time when his face started changing. So she didn't want that. So she knew what she was, and so she knew to invest in herself and stop trying to please other people. Either I'm kind of getting off the subject though, but the whole point is that sometimes we try to please other people, that we'll be more acceptable to them if we straighten our hair, bleach our skin, or even bleaching our hair. They know what you are, and they already decided for themselves. And so we're here, we make them money. Yeah, what's that? Stephanie Mills also said that that those vanilla like to that they tolerate us, but they don't celebrate us. And that was the key thing for me. That's what really stood out to me with Stephanie Mills. They don't celebrate black people. They tolerate us and make you think, want you to compromise your looks, your behavior. And remember, what's his name? Donald Sterling. He owned this basketball club. And what did he say behind closed doors? As a basketball owner, it was just a couple of years ago, he didn't want this black player to watch his game. He was a racist guy. Yeah, just look it up, those of you who forgot. So even though you're making those people all the money, he doesn't respect you, but he tolerated you. He tolerates us. That woman, Stephanie Mills, got it right on the head, and I needed to hear it. So it's a wake-up call that no matter what you look like, light or dark, you're not one of them, and so don't try to become them. Become yourself and use wisdom and educate your family, your children. We have to start thinking smart. We have to start thinking like leaders for our community, because they're not going to help us during a crisis like Katrina, that Hurricane Katrina that happened a couple of years back in Louisiana. Okay? It's a wake-up call, and I sense something's going to happen. We have to start being smart and start research. I have to research now about food. Where we're going to get food from. And I have my dogs, and they have to eat too. So spend your money wisely. Start researching where you're going to get your food, what your plan is, where you can go. Those of you who don't have kids or pets, whatever, those of you who have cars, think of where you're going to go, where you can stay. Okay? So thank you again. And I hope this is a wake-up call for most of us. Okay? Take care, guys. Bye-bye. Signing off.